Hello, I'm Valerie McLennan. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you may be. I hope you're well. This is my spiritual channel, Valerie Mac, Scottish, spiritual, and very funny. As I've mentioned previously, I'm a great believer in using humour to get my message across. Yes, we don't have to be serious all the time. Just because we say we're on a spiritual path, we have been given the gift of laughter and humour. We don't have to say everything very, very seriously. We get a point across in whichever way we feel is crucial to the listening audience, etc. Now, if you've been following me a while, you'll know that I do tell stories from my own life, share experiences, and I try and explain in a very simplistic manner the importance of using your own personal responsibility and all of the techniques that you have learned on life's journey as an anchor, especially regarding the spiritual laws and how the universe works. It's not rocket science. If you don't know about it, please listen, please tune in. Now, if you look at the channel, I've had a channel for about a year and a half now, or over a year, and I had changed it over. So at the minute, if you're a new listener, there's only about 3 podcasts visible to your eye. I'll be transferring some of the previous from the other channel over. So just to let you know, it's not that new. I've been here a while. Now, today, this is a very important subject today because it ties in, obviously, in correlation regarding my own spiritual beliefs, etc. Now, you more than likely read it in the newspaper, heard it online, heard it somewhere. St Mungo's Church in Cumbernauld was burnt to the ground, ashes to ashes. All that is left is a framework and ashes. Now, you can imagine the people of the local town and also the members and the congregation and the family and the people that had memories attached to St Mungo's Church in Cumbernauld. Now, it was also a main landmark because as soon as you were coming into Cumbernauld, you could see it in the distance in its full glory. Now, last weekend, it was burnt to the ground. The strange, now, not strange to me because I'm on the spiritual path, the amazing coincidence, keep in mind there's no such a thing as coincidence in life, the amazing, if you want to use that word, coincidence is burnt to the ground and it's literally ashes. The sign, St Mungo's Church, is still in its full glory and the bell is still there. The bell and the sign are still as they were. The remainder is ashes. There's nothing that you can see, nothing left. Now, on the spiritual path, as I have repeated and repeated in the last year and a half, and many of you are very well aware of, in life, we always have a freedom of choice. You know, we can't continually blame other people. We've got to take personal responsibility. At the end of the day, people can ask us to do things, can kind of, coerce, whatever. We have to finally say yes or no. So the blame lies with each and every one of us, whatever decision we're making. This is where the expression we reap what we sow comes in. And I've mentioned again, until I'm blue in the face, I don't look on this as being a judgment. I don't look on it as like being a creator or a God above, hoping you're going to fall, trying to catch you out. Now, it would surprise you how many people do. They live in this kind of real fear of judgment. Those who are judging you are no doubt in your own family, your own circle or your own work, wherever, human beings. I don't personally believe that we're in a world and the reason for being here is to be judged. It's all down to personal responsibility. If you make a decision, you go one way, make a different decision, your life will go another way. Simple. The point I'm making, you imagine now the people who have invested years and years of their lives of keeping St Mungo's Church in Cumbernauld running. Now, there are many of them who have been there year after year, keeping it going. Now, from the congregation to all of the others, I'll not name them at the minute, but there are many who deserve recognition. They've been there through the years. Now, if you imagine you're looking now and you're turning around and just like in a heartbeat at a complete building that is now ashes, what do you do? Now, this is only my opinion, keep in mind, as I'm on the spiritual path, etc. If you look at the the church now, as I said, the bell is still there and the sign is still there. The other side of the coin is an awful lot of churches, all different types of denominations of churches, have mentioned the decreasing volume. There's not as many people going to churches of many faiths. The numbers seem to be dwindling over the years. That's not, again, rocket science. People are very well aware that a lot of churches are empty, or there's only a few. Many of the churches are kind of running at a minimum capacity. Now, I am on the spiritual path, and I have been all my life. I would now, just from my own point of view, through my own eyes, I would look at that building and I would be thinking, the sign is still there through sheer determination. I know some of you could come back and go, just depends what it's made of. Forget all that. Forget that part. And the bell, etc. You could walk away. The people could walk away and say, well, we tried this. You have now given me a mountain. Previously I had a little hill to climb. Now I have got Ben Nevis. Now you can understand people who have struggled, people who have been trying to financially keep it going, looking at that now and thinking, you win, I surrender. Now here I come to the choice we have in life. Now the flip side of that, you could look at it and think, now hold on. The basis, it does look ashes to ashes. The negative aspect was the numbers in all of the churches are dwindling. Why? There is a disengage somewhere. The world has not changed to that degree. We're all still human beings. People still need empathy. Human beings still need understanding. People still have there are many people with a wanting to know, and they're on the spiritual path, but they're disengaged from the different churches. All of the different faiths are kind of coming away. Now there's something somewhere, there's a disconnect. The people still have, in my mind, in my eyes, a lot of people, not everyone, I'm generalising, have the need they've always had regarding having a faith, having a trust, and having an understanding. But there was something missing with the disengage with the church. People I've spoken to over the years felt that there was an awful lot of judgmental aspect of the church, or the way it was being delivered, etc., etc. Now, I'm not just solely talking about St Mungo's, but generally, on this path I'm on, we always have a choice to make, freedom of choice, and look on it in a different way. Look at the building and think, well, there you are, we've tried, look at this. Oh, so thanks, we get all these. Do you think this is life telling us just to give up? No, it's not life telling you to give up. This could be a brand new page for many, many churches, not just that one. Many churches could now look and think, right, there's been a disengage, the numbers have dropped rapidly over the years. Human beings are still the same, there must be still something, but there's something going wrong. How do we reinvent? How do we give the human beings, wherever you are, not solely St Mungo's Church, wherever you are, how do we give the people what they need? The local community what they need, because they must still, human beings haven't changed to that level. No, they have not changed to that level. At the core, we're all the same. We all have the same needs. We all have the same emotional needs. We all need, so that hasn't changed. But what has changed? And maybe look at it and think, right, this could be reinvented in a bigger and better plan. We're not only just struggling, trying to get by with a few people. We're not just struggling. It's always a battle. You need to generally address what you're delivering. Why is there a disengagement somewhere? Reconnect and look at this now as a brand new chapter. If you look at the other side of the coin, the world has never ever needed something as much now as an anchor in life. People have got so much fear, anxiety, stress. We're facing challenges like we've never ever faced. Now, if you look at the timing, we're living in a world where fear is palpable every day of your life. If you don't manage the fear, and if you don't have something like an emotional anchor, a faith of some description to hold on to, I have said it in previous podcasts, I don't know where I would be. Honestly, I'd be out there looking for my mind somewhere. Anyone's seen my mind anywhere? I've lost it. Maybe that's just me. So regarding even the likes of St Mungo's Church, if you look at it again, the world has never been in such a dire strait, in my opinion, with fear and anxiety, financial cost, health issues, everything is just, it seems heightened, and it's been projected at a heightened speed into the world. maybe in reality it's not as, maybe in reality the situation's not quite as bad as it's projected. But if people are buying into what's being visible in their eyes, that's all that matters to them. Now, so if you've got a heightened degree of fear, anxiety and stress and mental health disorders in the world, and yet you've got the situation like churches, there's nobody there. There's a clue. There is a clue. There is something going on in the connection. So this could be an opportunity for not only the St. Mungo's Church, but any church to think, okay, we are now looking at a clean sheet. How do we connect to the listening ears? How do we get people to listen? How do we get them to engage? It's a new opportunity. That's all I want to say on that one. We're living in a world where it's never ever been needed to such an extent as it's needed now. But physically, you're looking out in the churches. Not all of them. The churches are kind of, many faiths I've mentioned, they've got far fewer people than they ever had in their lives in the churches. This, to me, again, on the spiritual path, you're always given an opportunity. Do you look at this as a negative and think, well, as I said in the previous one, people keep saying, que sera, wherever will be, will be. No, that is a cop-out. We have to take ownership for what we're doing in life. It shouldn't just be down to one and two individuals. People, if they want things done, we have got to take action ourselves. You can't look at other people to do everything for you. It's like we reap what we sow. There are too many, in situations in life where there are too many leaders and their opinion is the only one that matters. No, you've got to engage with people and give people what they need. What I find in the world, even if it's in the workplace or wherever it is, if you've got too many leaders telling people how it will be done, and they won't move and they will not emotionally budge, this is where you end up today, because people will walk away, whether it's emotionally walk away or physically walk away from situations. You've got to be there. It's got to be like a two-way street. We're all human beings on earth. We're given situations in life. To me, if I was like on this path, looking at this now, I'd think, if you've ever needed a sign, you often hear people saying, oh, well, if there's a God, give me a sign. Oh, I don't know how many signs we need. Really? Really? If you want a sign, there's a sign. I know. You don't have to look at, obviously there's answers to everything. People go, well, it was just this, it was just that, it was just this. What we've got to do in life, in my opinion, is deal with what you have. Forget now, what if, what it could have been, what's that? Never mind. We now have to deal with the facts. What we have in front of us is that situation. It's how you react now, how you move it forward, and how you engage people, and if you are only, this is a point I make, if there's too many leaders and it's all my way or the highway, people will walk away. And this is how you're finding a lot of the churches now. Nobody. Yet the need in the heart, the spirit and the soul of human beings has never needed something as much as they do now. So you've got to get back in there and move with the times and get people what they need. That's just my opinion. Because it's a spiritual channel, I thought I would mention it today, of all days. Now, regarding St. Mungo's, the reason I'm mentioning that, there's many memories in that building with people. My own mother that's where my mother's funeral was, way back in 2004. So, people have emotional attachments to different kind of situations, obviously. But with that church, obviously, with that type of thing, and you hear many people are saying, oh, this particular church being central in the town, they're saying, oh, well, they had christenings or weddings or funerals or happy times. And the other thing is it's used for a lot of local groups. And, there's people we're hiring out that venue, all different types of faith. It wasn't just it's not just one faith. It was open to everyone in there. And they were hiring the host. So there's an awful lot of local kind of groups. I can't remember exactly who was using it. But there's a lot of people now kind of left looking for new places to go. Now, I would part with this word. Look at this as being a new chapter and something that could actually catapult it back in to a level that has been missing for many, many years. Look at the opposite side and just think, wait, I know we lost this, we lost that. But at the same time, it was really, a lot of the churches are functioning on very, very few people. And look on it as a new chapter. How could I re-engage? How can I actually move with the times and do this where it's all-encompassing, it's attracting different people, and people are actually getting what they need. As I said, and the part I'll leave you with, the world has never needed this so much. Many, many people, whether it's business world or otherwise, admit to feeling emotionally broken. They're overwhelmed. They're feeling emotionally just burnt out, literally, same as the church. So people are feeling burned out. The church is burned out. You need to get a connection where the human level, the heart, the soul, the spirit all work together and progress. Thank you for listening. I'll be back soon. Look after each other. Bye for now.